So this was the stack operations program which we saw in the last class. Now this is the last week before your exams. Okay. So I'll let you know today which date you'll be having your practical. Okay. It would be after 25th only, that is 26th, 27th, either of the 2 days. So one day I will be taking your practical and the other day it will be your 26th I will be taking practicals and 27th I will be taking your Viva. Okay,
Ma'am, 27th is Sunday.
Sunday. Okay. Uh, okay, I'll see. I'll figure it out today what day it could be. Maybe on 25th only I can take Viva and 26th I can take the practical. So I'll just figure it out today. I wasn't well for the past 3 days. I couldn't do anything. So I will be doing it today. Okay. So students, I hope this program was very clear to you. So now we will be solving some more hot questions related to stacks. So here it is. The first is obviously we have already done it, either pushes or pops an element. Second is a line of text is read from the input terminal into a stack. Write a program to output the string in the reverse order, each character appearing twice. So you have a line of text which is read from the input terminal. So suppose the example is the string ABCDE should be changed to means not only the elements should be popped in the reverse order, but they should also be repeated. Okay. So how should we do this? So we will write a function here. Is there anything specified? No. So write a program they have given. So we don't need a function over here. So we have a stack and we will just specify the elements in the stack. Okay, these are the elements in the stack. Now what you have to do is you have to pop elements from the stack in the reverse order. That is from right to left. Okay, that means this is the top from where elements will be inserted as well as they will be extracted out. So from here, now what you will be doing is you will be popping elements from this area. You will be taking out elements from this area one by one and you will be repeating those elements. So how can we do this? So I'm writing here for I in range. First watch it carefully, okay? So I have just written three statements over here. Let's do the dry run. For I in range. So what is I? First of all, length stack. What is the length of the stack? It is 5. Okay. And it has to be taken up to which number? 0. But 0 won't be included. So it would be 5, 4, 3, 2 and 1. Right. And -1 is for taking the values in the reverse order. I have written print stack I minus 1 into 2. So I minus 1 means if I is 5, then I minus 1 will be 4. Right. So this I am just writing the indices here. So I minus 1 will be what? 4 and stack I minus 1 will be what? E. So E and I am using repetition operator multiplication here so that E is repeated. Okay, after that a space. Then next it would be 4. So 3 minus 1 that is, sorry, 4 minus 1, 3 that is D. Then it would be C. And finally when I reach 1, so it would be I minus 1, 0 that means A. And this is what is asked in the question. Hardly a 3 lines program. Here, check your answer. This is exactly what has been asked in the question. So this has been asked in the question. Next is write a program that, depending upon user's choice, either pushes or pops an element in a stack. The elements are shifted towards right so that top always remains at 0th index. So now there is a catch. Okay, so again you have to implement a stack with push and pop operations, but elements are shifted towards right so that top is always maintained at the left side. This is a stack. Okay, in the first iteration, suppose I write here push A. So A is pushed to the stack. Fine. And this is what top. Next time if I write push B, so it would be, this will be, so top is always maintained. So you can see over here, top always remains at 0. Top always remains at 0. Next time you write push C, it would be C, B, A. And this is top. Got it? So this is how you have to implement. And when you are deleting elements also, I'll be discussing that. You write pop an element. Okay. So in the beginning, this was the stack. This is top. When you write pop, one element has to be deleted. That is E has to be deleted. So then your stack will become, got it? Next time again you pop an element. This is how it is going to work. And again you pop an element. Stop, and again you pop an element, it will be A. Is the technique clear to everyone? How the stack is working?
Yes, ma'am.
If the technique is clear, we will start with the push function. Okay. Stack, element, and top. Now I'm only going to discuss the statement. If there is any discrepancy, if we find that we are not able to figure out whether it is right or wrong, then we will switch to programming, right? So def push, okay, no, let's do it that way only. That would be better. So I'm going to open a new file and I'm going to save it here. Stack reverse, no, it's not stack reverse. Some name I have just given. So df stack element top. Now element has been asked from the user. So top is never going to change. Hence, I did not write the statements for incrementing the value of top. We will see if there are any mistakes, we can remove it later. Here pop 0 will also work, and if you simply write pop, because that one element is itself having index 0 and -1. So I'm just not going to repeat this statement here. No, sorry. Wait. I'm just taking this value here. Else, going to copy the statements here within the loop. I don't want to do all that work. We will just check which all operations are there. Element push stack element top. Okay. Top. Yes. Okay. Fine. Now let's see. Let's see traverse. Okay. It takes one positional arguments, but two were given. Yes. So you can see B and A. And I just need to give one more change line after A, because you can see stack operations is also getting printed on the same line. So we'll just complete this. Here also you can see CBA. So top always remains at position 0. You can see it like this. Yes. So here also you can see EDCBE. Now let us pop elements. Element popped is E. Let's check traverse. Yes. Let's check traverse, and you can see B and A. Now only one element is left. Top is none. If you try to pop again, there is nothing. There it is stack. It's giving you stack underflow. Is this clear to everyone? Just take a look at the statements here. In stack, what we did was we did not increment the value of top at all. Okay, top always would remain the same. Only thing when there is only one element left in the stack, at that time I am setting top as none. Because if I delete that one element, my stack will be empty. So that time top will become none. Rest all the times, and then when you are pushing an element to the stack, it will check whether the stack is empty or not. If it is empty, it will set top as 0 and then continue with its statements. Here instead of 0 you can also write top. Understood? So this is how you have to do this question. So here it is now write a program. That means you have to write the entire code. It is not mentioned that you have to define a particular function, but they have specifically said write a program. Okay, next is write a program to insert or delete an element from a queue. Queue we will see a little later, so we are skipping this question for the time being. Fifth one is also queue, and then sixth one is also queue. So I'm coming to queues a little later. First, let us see all the stack questions. Next is seventh question. Each node of a stack contains the following information: pin code of a city, name of a city. Okay, now two parts of information will be there. Write a program to implement following operations. So two functions, push and pop. So first let us figure out what is asked in the question. Now they are saying that your stack will be what? That of a city. So I can name my stack as city stack. Okay, so I'll name my stack as city stack, and each element will contain two things. So I can say that each of the elements within the linear list, it will be a sublist consisting of the name of the city. So suppose I write here, and for the time being, I'm just writing an arbitrary pin code, right? Let me take this as 123. I'm just writing an arbitrary pin code for the time being, because we don't have that much time to first search for the pin code of the city and then do it. That you can do on your own. This is just for checking the program, checking the code. So we have this kind of a city stack, as you can see over here, okay, which consists of basically 3 elements, and each of the elements is a sublist consisting of name of the city and its pin code. City name and pin code. Got it? So this is what the stack is, and you have to now implement two things: push operation and pop operation. So let's start with the push operation first. So what I'm going to do is, instead of doing everything from scratch, I will be taking this stack operations question. Okay, and I'm going to copy this, paste it, and I will make changes here. City stack operations. This is the name of my program. Now let's go to the top, or we'll start from here, from main. Okay, our stack is 0, right? I'm not changing the names. If you want, you can change the name to city stack. I'm not changing because I'll have to change it everywhere then, right? So you can just take it as, I'm just mentioning it in a comment line, city stack. You can rename it as city stack. Top is none. Okay. Now we come to this push an element. So instead of push an element, let me write here push a city, right? So push a city. So it is asking for element. So instead of element, what I can do is I can ask for individual values. Right? City name equals enter the name of the city, and pin code equals int input enter the pin code of the city. Now pin code you can take as string also, because we are not doing any calculations on that. Now this thing it's up to you whether you want to send it as a list or as a tuple to be saved inside. Okay. So let us first do it in the form of list, and then we will take it in the form of a tuple. So let's take this top push. Okay. So in push, I'm going to send stack. I'm going to send element. So I'm going to write element like this. I forgot to give a bracket. The city I'll write. And here I am passing it to stack comma city comma top. Let's go to the push function. Everything will work the same. Okay, when you write append, it will append that entire sublist and it will return the top over here. Right, so you can see the value of top. So I am just going to add a statement top equals what top. Next is pop the element. Right, now when I pop the element, this tuple is going to contain the sublist also. So we'll see the top pop function first of all. Element is none, so I'm going to, yes, first of all element will be none. Stack underflow if the stack is empty. If length is 1, element equals stack dot pop. So here when the element is popped from the stack, suppose if it is being popped, I'm going to now this program works in the usual way, that is the last element inserted will be top, will be at the top, and 2 will be represent the top. So when I pop this element from the stack, this is in the form of a list. Understood? So here also, when I am writing this statement here, that is stack dot pop, element will contain what? It will contain the list. List containing city name and its pin code. Then top is equal to none, and same way this is also going to work. So when this return statement is now executed, which contains element and top, then your element would contain something like this. This is a tuple. Inside a tuple, you have a list. And you also have the top. What is the new top? Because the element has been popped, so now top will be pointing to 1. So this is what will be returned. So this is 0, this is 1. If you want to extract the element, you will be extracting what? Tuple with top stack 0. So let's come back here and we will see. So this is it. Tup stack equals pop. So this tup stack contains the tuple which is returned from the function. And if you want to take out the element, so element becomes tup stack 0. That is your small list containing city name and the pin code. So your element contains here, element contains this value. Okay. And then top equals top stack 1. That means the value of top. Now element popped is, if you simply write element, we will get the city name and the pin code. Let us run the program and see. So push, enter the element. Which program am I doing? Let me see. stack operations. Okay. This is what we were supposed to do. Okay. Everything will be the same only. Push, enter name of the city. So I'm going to enter. Let's see, traverse. Yes, this is my first element. Okay. Next, again push. Let's see, traverse. Yes, it's there. First one is New Delhi, second one is Bhopal. You can see Jaipur also. Two more cities I'll enter. And you can see, yes, so we have all the 5 cities over here, and top is 4. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, let us pop elements. The first element popped is Kolkata, because you can see Kolkata was the last element that is at the top of the stack, and the new top is 3 now. So 0, 1, 2, 3. Similarly, if I just enter the choice 2, you can see how elements are getting popped. This is my stack. And if I try to pop anything from here, there is nothing to pop. If you try to traverse, then also the stack is empty. Again, if you push an element, so if I check, yes, so it is there, and again it starts from top equals 0. Is it clear to everyone, students?
Yes,
This
ma'am.
question, how you have to do, you might get it in the form of, now right now what you will be doing is I'm giving you a question. I'm going to explain that question to you. You have to implement a stack of books. Stack of books. So you have to implement push operation, pop operation, and traverse operation. Okay. So here books will contain the following data. Book title, which is the name of the book, book number, and price. 3 elements, right? 3 things. Now this time the difference is, instead of taking them in the form of sublist, you will be implementing them in the form of a subtuple. That is a tuple, right? So your final stack of books, which is a list, it will contain separate tuple objects, where each tuple objects represents one book. Got it? This is how it is going to be implemented, right? So
Ma'am, we
yes,
have done this earlier.
we have done this when
Ma'am,
I
in
long back
April.
we had
Yes.
April, no, long back, and many students were not there also, Pratyum. That's why I am taking this again. Why? Because many students missed their classes at that time, right? So that's why I'm taking it once again.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So right now everybody is going to implement only the push function. Only the push function, and send me your code. Okay, Aishwarya send me. Let me check. Plus equal to item. Okay. Yes, it will work. Return top. Okay, fine. Very good. Uh, okay, fine. Send me the answer. Her answer is correct. And I want to see the others also. Let me just check the chat box. Okay. ठीक है. Correct. Indentations will get erased here, Pratyum. We can't help that. Okay. Okay. So very good. Many of you have given me the correct answer. What we are going to write in the main. Okay. So first thing is book title. So I'm going to simply write book title equals input. Enter the book title. Then I'm going to write book number. Now students, book number is entirely your choice. If you are including any characters also in book number, that is any alpha. If you are making it into an alphanumeric string, then you have to remove this int. Okay. I am assuming that book number is all integers. That's why I have used int over here. Then price. Enter the price. Okay, so these three things have been asked from the user. Now we have to send it as an element. So I'm going to write book element equals, and I'm going to set it in the form of a tuple. So here I made it into a tuple. Now I'm going to write top equals push stack, which can be book stack. So let me take it, let me write it as book stack. Always name your variables according to the values they store. So book stack, book element, and top in whichever order. If it is top first, then book stack, top, book element. If it is element first, then book stack, book element, and top. And rest you don't have to make any changes in your push function. Why? Because this element will be accepted in the form of this book element. That is, it will be accepted in the form of this tuple object itself, and all you are doing is appending that tuple object to the stack and getting the top returned. Main thing what you have to check is what you are writing within this block. Understood? So that is it. And then you have the pop element function. Okay. So now when pop element is also going to work in the same way, what statements will you write over here? So I'm displaying, I've kept this displayed over here. Write the statements within this elif block. You don't have to write anything for the pop function. You have to write the statements within choice 2. That is when you have to pop an element, and not only that, instead of printing it in this way, you should print it in a proper way like this. Book title is so and so. Book number is so and so. And the price is this. This is how I want the output. Understood? So just write the statements in that way and then I'll get back to you. So I'll take the attendance first. These are the statements which are written within choice 2, that is pop an element. Hmm. So let's see. You have already taken it in this form. So I'm just going to write the statements here. Just take a look, right? I'm just going to write some fictitious statements here. So top stack equals pop stack top. This will be as it is. You just accepted an element. So I'm replacing this by book element. Book element equals top stack 0. So this book element is what? It is actually a tuple. So now for this tuple, you are going to just write the statements like this. Print title book title is book element 0. Book number is book element 1. And price is book element 2. So here book element 0, 1, 2, they represent the individual values within the tuple. So first one is book title, which is 0, book element 0. Next is 1, that is book number, as you can see over here. Next is 2, that is book element, that is book price. Okay, and the value of top is top. So this is how you can send individual values to the, you can store individual values, you can create stack, you can implement stack in the form of any real world object and display. Next is a very interesting question. So we don't have much time left today. We will be discussing this in the next class only, but we'll just start it in whatever time is left. Write a program that implements three queues, namely highest priority, normal priority, and lowest priority. So three queues are there. These are three queues. Okay, for this I need to first teach you queues. So this will be based on queues. Okay, so we will be first discussing queues in the next class, and then only we will be coming to this. So our class is done. We will be first taking up one of these stack applications, that is converting an infix expression to postfix expression and evaluating a postfix expression. These two things we will be discussing first, and then we will take up queues. We will discuss queues in detail. So I hope everybody understood today's class. We had ample discussion on all the topics. Okay, all the topics, all hot questions we have discussed in detail. Now it is your task to practice all those hot questions. Okay, please practice them. So thank you everyone. I'm
Ma'am,
stopping the, yes.
ma'am, if
Yeah,
in the
ma'am.